I don't think it's a problem. Any time a music genre attracts fans, period. With the kind of content that Christian hip hop has, it's something to celebrate. I guess the question we want to ask is, how do we expand Christian hip hop to sort of have an influence, have audiences and communities that it hasn't in the last 10, 15, 20 years? How do we grow it? How do we introduce new communities to it, to the genre, to sort of expand it? That's an opportunity, right? Not a problem. It's an opportunity to really invite more traditional Black churches, more traditional Hispanic and Latino churches within the context of urban areas in America to be introduced to a genre that they actually could use, they just don't know about, right? And so we have to do a better job of introducing artists, introducing pastors and leaders and speakers, and do more cross-fertilization between these church communities in order for this to happen. Now, I think what it means, in part, and this is something that evangelicals in general don't do a good job of, is actually having friends outside their tribe, right? This actually requires evangelical churches to befriend and have points of solidarity with traditional Black churches, with traditional urban churches that represent all sorts of ethnic and minority groups, even if those churches don't get the gospel right? So you have to have space to move toward a church community that might not have all the boxes checked like you want, but it provides opportunities and context to share those sorts of resources and provide opportunities to introduce that. I would say that unfortunately what's happened is there's this sort of caricature of a lot of Black churches, a lot of Hispanic churches, that they're sort of unsound churches, right? They don't have their theology together, and therefore we should not, we should stay away from them. But that's actually hurting everybody, right? A, you're missing out on opportunities to share what God has given you in terms of resources and best practices. But then B, you're leaving these churches, a lot of these communities, with theologies and teachings that need to be checked, right? They need to be corrected. And that will never happen if they're only around the same types of people all the time. And so we need to do a better job of having greater networks of friendships and partnerships across these lines. That's probably the best way that we'll see this sort of transition, this sort of spillover effect in the future.